981, and we're streaming live on our YouTube channel as well. So you can catch that live stream on our channel, Smooth 981. Don't forget to subscribe, and you can post a comment on there.
All right. Can we quickly run through the headlines? We also have some really sad news this morning, but let's run through the headlines and get to the stories.
This is not great at all. Tijani Babangida, wife hospitalized after road accident. Brother dies. Swiatek, Golf, and Osaka win in Rome. Chelsea form shows plan is coming together. This according to Bowley. Leverkusen beat Roma to make Europa League final and extend unbeaten run. Bayern face uncertain future after Champions League exit. Jorginho targets silverware after signing new Arsenal deal. Atalanta and Roma face off in battle for Champions League spot. FIFA faces legal threat over congested calendar.
And those are the headlines. Can we now go through? Well, let's start with the very first story because not pretty news coming out of Zaria, but let's touch that story now.
Former Super Eagles forward Tijani Babangida was involved in a car accident on Thursday that tragically claimed the life of his younger brother, Ibrahim Babangida.
I think last night it was late last night. News started filtering in on social media, and it wasn't great news. The first news that hit was Ibrahim. No, 1993 under 17 Ibrahim Babangida dies in an accident. I was like, how do people just stun people with this kind of news? But yeah, it turns out that Tijani Babangida, his wife, and his brother were all involved in a car accident, and his brother died immediately.
Wow.
News coming in is that Tijani is in a critical condition, but he's stable. So, I often don't understand what that means, but my own bottom line is the person is alive, right? So there is hope. And that's the beginning of it. So, he is critical, but he's still alive. So far. So prayers up for him and for his wife that were involved in the accident. And it's just a sad loss for um Ibrahim, who's gone. That one was instant, and that one was so sad. So I don't know how to say this. We just pray that the family comes out of this, and we pray that for the grace to bear the loss, because that this is a real tragic incident that happened just last night, literally just last night.
Wow. Thoughts and prayers to the families.
Thoughts and
All
prayers.
right. Moving on to Rome, Iga Swiatek, Coco Gauff, and Naomi Osaka all made it through comfortably to the last 32 of the Italian Open in Rome.
Yeah, I'm just trying to move on from the news I just read into and going to Rome. But yes, really good day for a lot of the top seeds in Rome. And even those that complain that we just came from Madrid and I just played the final and I'm tired. She bageled somebody in the first set. Bageled the poor girl. And then in the second set, Pera looked like she was going to fight a little bit when she got on the board. But Iga Swiatek actually served for the match at 5-1. And then Pera broke her, then she broke Pera right in the next game. So smooth and easy run for her in her first match in Rome. Also Coco Gauff had a pretty decent match in her first match in Rome. Her first serve was actually broken. She was trailing 2-love at the start of the first set, and then she went on to win the next 6 games.
Wow.
So, and from then on out, she completely dominated the second set. and went on to win that match in straight set. So easy peasy for her there. But the brilliant one was Naomi Osaka, and this is what I'm telling people to be worried about, because trust me, remember when Naomi Osaka first started coming on the scene and getting into her own, well, like she was like, I want to win 50 Grand Slams. I was like, Auntie, you need to be coming down. That's not how they do it, especially not in the WTA. This is wild, wild west out here. But yeah, she stopped at 4, I think, and then um everything collapsed, and then she went and had her baby. But she's back with a different level of intention and gratitude, because I remember one of the times she was giving interview to the media. She said she didn't really appreciate how well she rose or how high she rose, and she didn't feel like she was grateful. Maybe that's one of the reasons why she said her results stopped coming in at a particular point in time. But now she's focused and she's grateful for every step, and you can see it in her play. She's, even when she makes a mistake, sometimes she smiles, sometimes she's questioning herself, but you can tell that she just resets and starts again. And yesterday was a blistering performance. First set was a little tight, but second set 6-1. Brilliant running, was everything was working. Her serves were working, her backhands, her returns, her forehands. She was on it. So if that Naomi Osaka is a Naomi Osaka back, I remember clay is her least favorite surface. So if she's performing well on clay, grass is just around the corner. So once it comes to grass and she's in top form, then the WTA is going to turn upside down, because she's still ranked a little lower, but she can contend with the best of them on tour. So if Naomi Osaka is back, then trust me, this is going to be great. On the men's side, though, interesting one. So remember that there's no Carlos Alcaraz who picked up an injury. There's no Yannick Sinner picked up an injury, but Daniel Medvedev managed to come in. But the news have been about Rafa Nadal and him also, like Naomi Osaka, getting into brilliant form. And yesterday was a good match, but I'll still say, when I see some of the mistakes he made yesterday, and I think about all the other guys in form in the men's tour, I'm just like, I'm not sure he can win anytime soon, but he's getting slowly back. Will his body allow him to get all the way to full fitness? We wait to find out. But yesterday was another brilliant performance. So let's wait to see how Rome turns out for all players.
All right, let us know your thoughts. 0809 440 and 981. Chelsea chairman Todd Bowley says the team's recent form is proof that the club's plan is coming together under the big Mo, Mauricio Pochettino.
I told you.
You said it, Tega.
All Chelsea fans, people should just come and line up and be asking me your future. Because I said it, the minute this guy started bringing in the results, even if it's towards the end of the season, I was like, Pochettino doesn't look like he's going anywhere. Because if you're Todd Bowley, think about it. Todd Bowley has struggled from the minute he came into this team. He struggled to find the right transfers. He struggled to find the right fit. It didn't work out with Chelsea under him like it worked out with Abramovich, where the success started coming almost instantly. He struggled to find the right person, and now the team is clicking. You're telling him to fire who? He's not firing anybody. So all of you know, were so excited about, Cole Palmer. No, they don't call him Cole Palmer anymore. They call him Cold Palmer, because he's been cold in his delivery. All of you have been talking about him, talking about the results that Chelsea has been posting recently. Well, I want to tell you the good news. You have found a permanent coach in Mauricio Pochettino. Because Todd Bowley and sacking that guy. You don't fix what is not broken. And Chelsea right now is not broken. In fact, Chelsea is thriving. So if you're a Chelsea fan, I want to hear your thoughts on this. Mauricio Pochettino, Todd Bowley is talking about the team clicking under Mauricio Pochettino, which is indicative of the fact that he may not fire Mauricio Pochettino. What are your thoughts? Is Chelsea doomed, or is he right that they have let's come together and maybe he should just keep them because they're a winning team? The numbers to send your messages to are
0809 440 981. I can see messages coming through on our live stream. It's on YouTube, Smooth 981. You can post your comments on there. And you can also tweet or X at Smooth 981.
All right. So what we're asking now that it's beginning to look like Todd Boehly is going to stick with Pochettino based on recent results, what are your thoughts? Is it yay, I'm finished? Or, well, the team is coming together, so let's see how it goes. Again, the numbers to send your messages to are
0809 440 981. Let us know your thoughts. We have some messages coming through Tega, but they're not exactly related to the Chelsea situation.
Want to take the Chelsea situation specifically.
Okay. All right. I think we've got this one coming through from Taya. Taya says, Ted Boehly should calm down on the Pochettino hype and focus on how to financially exploit the EPL. Okay.
You should calm down. Yeah, okay, Taya is not obviously a fan of Chelsea. We're waiting for Chelsea fans to come and talk. I want to see if they have hands on their head or if they are confident that this formula has finally started working and maybe Todd Boehly shouldn't change anything.
You know, right. Tega, when you said hands on the head, it just occurred to me that hands on the head and hands on the air can actually describe two completely different situations. So when your hands on your head, it's like, you don't be. And then when your hands are in the air, it's like, yay, hooray.
Yes, exactly, exactly. So which one are you? So let's start with you in the studio, you the Chelsea fan.
Tega,
are you hands on the head or hands in the air?
My hands are on the console. Try to make this show work.
Nice one. All right, before let's take a quick break because we are already close to our halftime bus stop. So let's take the quick break. When we come back, we'll be taking those messages and more stories.
Tega, you want people to lynch me, right?
No, I just want to feel your pulse as a Chelsea fan. When you hear this kind of praise towards Pochettino, are you like, yay, he's going to stay?
To be fair, I had high hopes initially.
Bless you.
Thank you. But right now,
even with recent results,
man, I think.
Okay, we know where you are. We can see. It's not really a dance as much as it's about the hands. All right. Oh my goodness. I'm sure those on YouTube can see you. They are going to say if they joined you with the hands on the head or hands in the air. All right. So when we come back, we'll just be taking messages. Okay. We'll start with the Chelsea related messages, but we'll go into other messages.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let me have a quick. This place is free for your dogs.
Normal cement. You know the area is waterlogged and you say normal cement? Have you not heard of Water Shield? The new waterproof cement by Lamar, designed to protect buildings from water damage and water damage to your property.
Second, do you remember that dance called the migraine skank? I want to see the migraine skank.
Yes, you're the skank.
I want to see the migraine
skank. We've done so rubbish in this life.
I know, right? Hi, those good old days.
Oh, goodness.
You rock life. It's the locker room on Smooth 98.1. It's all about sports. Oh my goodness. I just saw something on YouTube.
They caught you.
Oh my days. That's funny. But anyways, let us know what your thoughts are. We want you to be a part of the conversation. WhatsApp 0809 440 981. It's Tega and Zibby, and this is the locker room.
All right, should we start with those messages first? Remember, we're talking about if you're a Chelsea fan and you just hear this praise for Mauricio Pochettino from Todd Boehly, the owner, what's your reaction? Hands on the head or hands in the air? All right, let's take those messages.
Okay, Mayowa says, I think Todd Bowley isn't wrong so far. The results truly are coming in. The home record is not bad. No matter the fears that Chelsea fans have, Poch has 1 year contract left. Next message from Cossie Coles. Cossie Coles says, I don't think the sacking of Poch would be a good one. Another year with the same would also help this group of new players. And the players love him, as they say, Shah. And he puts a shrug out there. AY from Oniru says, congratulations to all Chelsea fans. Pochettino is here to stay permanently. Zibby, I saw you dancing during the commercial break.
Well, it was a mixed dance because there were hands on the head, but there was also a dance. So I don't know if she was dancing for Friday and putting her hands on the head for Chelsea or vice versa, but we'll find out.
All right. Zicolo says, no need to change anything. Pochettino is good to go. The fact that they will finish above Man United is enough proof. They should also keep all their dreadful players. Oh, wow. And this is from Zicolo. Fabian, okay, wrong number, Fabian. Mohammed says, Tega, make Bowley park well, Jerry. He knows nothing about football results coming when there's nothing at stake. Come, Mauricio has nothing to offer. He hasn't installed the winning mentality in Chelsea. Give this team to Alonso and see wonders. Tayo says, I think Poch Stain is better than Ten Hag because he's the real content creator. Okay, let's see. Okay, YouTube. Padropio says, Todd Bowley is patting himself on the back, but give us our Abramovich, please. Todd just keeps experimenting with mediocrity, and he goes on to say, in addition, Poch is actually a good coach. Initial results regardless. I'd say give him one more season. So for me, it's hands in the air.
I like that, hands in the air.
Okay. We
All
have
right,
a few messages relating to the Babangida story, but I guess
please,
we'll come
let's
back to
read
that
those.
later.
Please, let's read those.
All right. Taya says, condolences to the Babangida family and speedy recovery to the survivors. Let's see. Zicolo says, my heart goes out to the Tijani family. I wish him a quick recovery. Padre Pio says, sad news, the Babangida family. We pray for repose for the dead and recovery for the living. Yeah.
On that note, let's run through some stories because the weekend is coming thick and fast.
All right, Bayern Leverkusen, aka Bayern never losing, are through to the Europa League final 4-2 on aggregate after a stoppage time goal from Josip Stanisic snatched a 2-2 draw at home on Thursday, extending their unbeaten run to a record 49 games.
Oh wow! So let's talk about what Roma did when they got to Germany. Now, first thing, they were soaking up pressure because Bayer Leverkusen came out into that match like they didn't even have a 2-goal advantage. They were, piling pressure on Roma, but they weren't real. They didn't score any goals. And then Roma steps up, gets a penalty goal. Okay, we're like 2-1. Maybe after the second half break, Leverkusen would have spoken with Alonso. They'd come out. They'd be stronger. Nope, that's not what happened because handball penalty, and now Roma are 2-2 with Bayer Leverkusen, and Roma decides to sit deep, leave Lukaku out like the outlet. But yes, they were containing pressure in the first half, for most of the first half. But this time they were sitting a little deeper after they had equalized and the scoreline was 2-2 on aggregate. And just Bayer Leverkusen just kept pressing. And just kept pressing. And unfortunately, Frimpong was making a lot of mistakes. I think Bayer Leverkusen would have scored earlier if Frimpong were a little more astute in his business. But they eventually put the ball in the back of the net and it was 2-1. So on that result alone, Leverkusen could have qualified. But these people, like I said, I think they've signed a blood oath that they are not losing this season. Because what's his name now? Xavi Alonso sits on the bench and decides, even if we are qualifying with a loss in this match, I do not want to lose. And then he substitutes and brings in Stanisic, another striker, towards the end of the match. The UEFA official, the fourth official, carries up the board and showed 7 minutes. And as soon as that 7 minutes came up, I kid you not, I just said, they've given them 7 minutes to equalize. Because that's what Bayer Leverkusen does. They just don't lose. And truth be told, on the 7th minute of that added time, Stanisic scores the equalizer. So that Bayer Leverkusen are 49 games unbeaten in all competitions, and they are through to the finals. So if you're Atalanta who is facing them in the final, you're just like, well, they haven't lost this season. I don't anticipate that I'll be the first person to beat them. Because you wonder when they're going to lose 49 matches in all competitions. Brilliant work that Alonso is doing there. But yeah, it's Europa final. So let's see if the other team comes out fighting. But if they put a board up with 7 minutes, just know that Leverkusen they are equalizing and winning.
All right. The other Bayern Munich's Champions League elimination at the hands of Real Madrid on Wednesday will kickstart a summer of soul searching, with the German giant facing a rather uncertain future.
All right. So we already know that Thomas Tuchel had said he was leaving, and that's what. But his run to the semi-final of the UEFA Champions League prompted a few misguided fans, to start doing that. Let's get 1,000 signatures and see if we can get the club to keep him. Like Uli Hoeneß is going to look at your 1,000 signatures before he makes up his mind. So he gets to the semi-final. Looked like he was having a brilliant game. And of course, Real Madrid comes back into the match, scores 2 quick goals by Joselu, who came on from the bench, and then win the match and knock out Bayern Munich. So Bayern Munich ends the season trophyless. It's not the first time it's happened, but it's interesting times, because if you are one of those people that followed Harry Kane, you're like, yes, Harry Kane has come with his curse. Harry Kane has brought his village people to Bayern Munich. All right. So there's some interesting takes on the Bayern Munich tale, and I know we've all watched the match. We've all seen the replay. I want to hear your thoughts on Thomas Tuchel and his decision making on the day. He's eventually come out to say that he had to take Harry Kane off because Harry Kane's back froze. So Harry Kane has been struggling with a back injury, and his back froze. We didn't know that watching the match. We didn't see a frozen back. We just saw a guy that wanted to score goals. But Thomas Tuchel has come out to say that he was struggling with an injury. So your thoughts on the Bayern Munich elimination in the Champions League? What do you think Tuchel could have done differently that would have brought a different outcome? Or are you of the other team that says, you know what, they were playing against Real Madrid, and regardless of what Tuchel did, Real Madrid was going to win? Again, the number. So should we call in?
No, let's do WhatsApp.
Let's do WhatsApp. Okay,
Yes,
so the numbers to send your messages to are
0809 444 981. Please save this number, 0809 444 981. Or you can just post a comment on our live stream. We're streaming live on YouTube, Smooth 981. That's the channel. Don't forget to subscribe. Send your message on there. Or just tweet at Smooth981. The hashtag is LockerRoom981.
All right. So you're telling me what you think Tuchel could have done differently that would have brought a completely different outcome. Or if you're on the other side, you're like, you know what, doesn't matter what Tuchel did, even if he left Harry Kane, even if he left Musiala, even if he brought in Goretzka, whoever he brought, Real Madrid was going to win regardless, because that's the kind of team they are. Or just send me those messages, or send us those messages to our WhatsApp and our YouTube platforms. All right, while we wait on those messages, can we run through the next story?
Okay. Arsenal midfielder Jorginho has signed a contract extension, reportedly for 1 year, setting his sights on winning silverware with the Gunners.
And yes, that will start from this weekend, because this weekend they go to Old Trafford. And remember what Manchester United have done to them. Manchester United is what has stopped the Arsenal's unbeaten run. Manchester United is what has stopped a lot of things for Arsenal. And so Sunday is another day for Manchester United to try and do this. Now, Manchester United have many reasons. Remember, they had a horrible defeat against Crystal Palace, another London team, on Monday. But this week, they had the 1999 Champions League documentary released, and all their old stars were there to prop up the new team. I remember at the end of the documentary premiere, David Beckham was saying, oh, you guys need to fight for your shirts. You guys need to show us that you're really Manchester United legends. I was like, why before the Arsenal game? Why is all this ginger coming before the Arsenal game? Why couldn't you do it before the Crystal Palace game? So Arsenal have a lot to fear, because I mean, they're in great form, they're in fantastic form. They are one of the teams to beat this season, and they've been having a good run in so far. But Old Trafford can present a completely different kettle of fish because it is Manchester United versus Arsenal. Okay, so those are the thoughts. If you're an Arsenal fan, I'm sure you say we beat them 6-0. They haven't fared well against London teams. That's how Manchester United can be. They will not fare well against London teams, so till Arsenal need an unbeaten record, then they will step up. But let's wait to see how these fans are for Arsenal fans. All right, let's run through the next story quickly before we start taking these messages.
All right. Syria will have 5 clubs in next season's revamped Champions League, and this weekend, Atalanta host AS Roma, with both sides aiming to finish in the top 5 and make a return to Europe's top competition.
Yes, especially with Roma having been knocked out of the Europa League and then Atalanta making it through at the expense of Marseille. It's going to be a tough one because one of the reasons Roma fired Mourinho was that, the team wasn't doing brilliantly. They didn't fire him because of a lack of attacking football. They're like, the team wasn't bringing the results under Jose Mourinho. But do you know how painful it would be to have sacked Jose Mourinho and still not make it to Europe and crash out of the Europa? So there's no other route. And this time they even have 5 teams and you're still not going. So at the end of the day, it becomes a tough task because Jose Mourinho won you your first European trophy. And then you fired him and hired, a Roma great in Daniel De Rossi. And yes, the football has been brilliant. And yes, some results have come in. But ultimately, even if those results come in, if they don't get that Champions League ticket, if they don't get that, and well, they've already been knocked out of Europe, so there's no chance at a trophy. Unlike last season under Mourinho, where they got all the way to the final. If they don't get those tickets, then it may appear that their decision to fire Jose Mourinho was the wrong one. Because at the end of the day, you may argue with a man's methods, but you can't argue with results. All right. So let's take those messages because we are literally out of time. So let's take those messages that we asked for.
Okay, AY from Oniru says, terrible decision making from Tuchel, and what's even worse was the lack of desire and mental strength from the Bayern side, despite being 1 goal up already. Those white garment boys of Real Madrid were determined to win that game by force.
I'm telling you, which is one of the reasons I feel like even without Tuchel's decisions, maybe Real Madrid could have won, yeah.
Tyre says, Roma wanted to spell Bayern Leverkusen's unbeaten run. Don't play. Maybe next season they can try. Like I always say, nothing concerns Bayern with losing. Either they win or draw. I'm imagining how Bayern and Real Madrid would play each other, especially from the 85th minute in the game. Harry Kane can leave Tottenham, but can Tottenham leave him? Bayern Munich found out the hard way. And now they're doing soul searching. Harry Kane, thank you for liberalizing German football.
I'm telling you.
Looking like a Chelsea undercover agent, but he should calm down about winning trophies. AGK says, well, okay, I just joined this show and hearing Poch is the real deal. I beg, where is this pseudo feel-good thingy coming from? Chelsea has fallen in standards so much under him. His late revival is not it, I beg. Bowley should park well. Let's see. Such sad news for the Babangida family. Life is just so fickle. My thoughts are with his family at this time. Bayern never lose and has done 49 unbeaten in both Europe and Bundesliga combined. Some people in North London are making noise of 49 unbeaten. Local unbeaten. Priye, your 49 local unbeaten was sold by United. Fear the United when they are wounded by the Eagles. AGK, you're throwing shades at Priye, even live on air.
I'm telling you, they're just there fighting each other.
I know. Mayowa says Harry Kane truly brought his village people to Bayern Munich. I think Tuchel should not have taken out the threat of Masala. Sane might have pushed Ferland and Mendy in, but this is Don Carlo playing chess, leaving some dangerous players on the bench, evidently. Talk about a match with 2 impact subs in Davis and Joslu. Emeka says, why is Tega always biased when confronted with Arsenal? Arsenal will beat Man United. Simple.
Okay.
Says, Tega, no amount of ginger can cancel the effect of bad coaching, no defenders, and poor mentality in the players. Ima from Surulere says, nothing would have stopped Madrid from winning, irrespective of what Tuchel did. The fact that Bayern scored an equalizer and they called it offside is a shame. Mohammed says, nothing Tuchel did was wrong. It was the officiating again that goes the way of Madrid again, like it did with Chelsea. This is the corruption of UEFA competitions. Use VAR for Madrid, but refuse to use for Bayern. That is bias. Grateful says, I think Manuel Neuer's blunder gave Real Madrid the impetus to equalize and win the game. Big E says, Tega, once Madrid takes that Champions League's final, it's a win. But either way, it's a win-win for Dortmund. Madrid win, they're collecting 25 million. Omoye on Node on YouTube says, hands up in the air. I'm disappointed that it takes the coach of Chelsea towards the end to start performing. Well, we manage him for next season. Right. I think those are all the messages we can
All
take.
messages have come in. All right.
I'm out
So
of
what
breath.
say? I know you need to catch your breath. And whilst you catch your breath, I want to say thank you to every single person who sent their messages through WhatsApp, and to our YouTube channel. Thank you for streaming on YouTube and for subscribing. And thank you for tuning in to Smooth 98.1 FM to listen to the locker room. Now, it's a great weekend. Matches all over. Arsenal fans bragging and hitting their chest. Manchester United fans feeling like village people. At the end of the day, let's see whether the village people triumph over the people of or the good people of Arsenal. All right. On that note, we want to say thank you and have a great weekend.